Now I continue in 1 Timothy chapter number 3 and verse number 10. And let these also first be proved, then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. On the program yesterday, I pointed out that the matter of let them use the office of a deacon means to put it to work, to employ, to put it into employment. There is a labor and a service and occupation in the matter of the service of this office of the deacon. The man that would serve in this position as a deacon is not a placeholder, but it is an office, it is a place to be used. But in his use of this office of a deacon, he is to use this office of a deacon being found blameless. Being found blameless. This is interesting. The existence of this office is not for personal gain or personal advancement. Men are corrupt, and men have corrupt natures. And all human beings are, by and large, have some selfishness. Some men and women are more selfish than others, but all of us have some area of selfishness. The matter of serving as a deacon is not a matter to be used for personal gain, for business advancement, or for a business advantage. Being the way that he would put this office into work, being his execution of this office, is to be found blameless. Now, when someone is found blameless, this word carries the idea of laying a basis for anything that is to be done. The building of something. A place or a beginning, being found blameless. Whenever your work and effort in the deaconship is examined, they would find no place where there is a point of personal advantage or personal gain to be brought to pass in this. A lot of men that I know that are qualified to be deacons, they meet the scriptural qualification, are also quite busy as businessmen, busy in their work, busy in their labor. And for a church to call upon one of these good men to serve as a deacon would almost become quite a sacrifice, because they have so many other obligations, things that they're obligated to do. I pointed out on the program, I think it was yesterday, let's say a church had 100 shut-ins, a large church, and you had 100 people that were shut in. And the point is to visit each one at least one time a quarter, once every 6 months, to see that everyone was visited. Well, now, some of these folk live 30 or 40 miles, away from where the deacon would live. And if the deacon was going to set up a schedule and pace himself to try to go and visit these individuals, if you had 100 and you were going to visit each one every year, every 12 months you're looking at visiting 2 a week. You have 52 weeks in the year. That'd give you, if you visited 2 of them a week, then you could get around in 12 months. And so you would use up 2 evenings a week making these calls, especially if you have to drive out 30 or 40 miles and make the call and then drive back. Well, now, I think that that's one of the responsibilities that the deacon would have, to visit the sick and shut in, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction. The pastor would try to get around to make these calls, but then he would have deacons. The deacon is not to sit like the chairman of the board of trustees in a corporation tell the president what to do. There are a lot of churches that are set up that way. The chairman of the deacons serves as the equivalent of the chairman of the board, and the board would be the board of deacons, and then the pastor of the church would hold the position of the president of the corporation. The president says, "Yes, sir," to the board of trustees and the chairman of the board of trustees. Now, the church is not set up that way. The pastor is the highest office in the New Testament, and the deacon, the servant, diakonios, would be below that. But if the deacon is going to execute his office well and is going to make these calls and these visits that need to be made, if you got to get around to 100 shut-ins, you're going to be busy on Tuesday and Thursday night making your rounds, especially if you're a busy businessman trying to run a business, or you have other demands upon your time. You're going to be quite busy. So a man that serves in this area of the deaconship and executes the office of the deacon well is going to be very sacrificial. He will not be selfish, he will be selfless. He will be selfless with his time, he will be selfless with his ability. Paul says, let them use the office of the deacon, being found blameless. And being found blameless carries the idea of being without fault, being innocent, being guiltless. The bishop, obviously, must be blameless, but then so should the deacon. The deacon is to be found blameless. And if the deacon is truly God ordained and is truly a servant of the congregation, diakonios, a servant, if he's truly a servant of the congregation and a servant of the Lord in that congregation, then you will not be able to find fault or find blame. When, like visiting the hospital, going from room to room, visiting the members of the church that he's a part of, and you may have 10 or 15, depending on the size of the congregation, 20 people in the hospital. Then you have people in the nursing homes. You have the sick and shut in. And if he executes that office effectively and efficiently, effectually, you won't be able to lay fault on him. If he's out on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night visiting and trying to help the pastor with the visitation, trying to ensure that the shut-ins don't have a need, that the grass is cut and that their power is not going to be turned off, and he's trying to make sure they have food, ample food in their cupboards, I promise you he's not down there trying to sell insurance policies or trying to sell automobiles or trying to build his business empire. He's down there visiting people that can do nothing for him financially. They're on a fixed income. They can't do anything for him. He truly will be blameless. He will be without fault. He will be innocent. He will be completely guiltless. He will not merit any kind of censure at all. Let them use the office of the deacon, being found blameless. Now my time is gone. God bless you.